Hello everyone, today I wanted to talk about Underworld. Underworld is the endgame content of Gladiatus and is available for players at level 100 and up. The way you get to the Underworld is if you click on Hermit and click on this last message right here. If you are not level 100, the message will say to come back once you have reached level 100. But if you are, you can just click on it, it will allow you to enter. Once you've entered the Underworld first time, you won't have all of these unlocked, you will only have normal, and in order to unlock the next one, you have to defeat the previous one. So once you complete normal, you can go onto the middle, and once you complete that, you can go to the hard. Now traveling to the Underworld costs 8,000 gold, and lasts 30 minutes. So let's click on normal, and as you can see, it just took 8,000 gold from me, and the travel time is 30 minutes. You can speed this up with 5 rubies or 5 work clothes. Now, if you maybe clicked on the wrong Underworld, or as you can see, I didn't eat, so I want to go back, you can just click this right here, go back, and it will return you back. You won't travel to the Underworld, and the important thing is the cooldown for the Underworld won't start, which is 5 days on normal servers. I think it's 1 day on speed or on speed 5, and I'm not sure what it is on speed 2. But the important thing is you can still go back if you forgot to eat or didn't repair your gear or something. Anything you forgot, you can go back, no penalties. Okay, now that we are in the Underworld, an important thing to keep an eye on is your life points. Because in the Underworld you cannot eat and you can still get attacked in arena, which will lower your life points. The way you can regenerate is using life potions, passive regeneration, guild doctor, and praying in temple. Praying today counts for the next day. There is also costumes you can take advantage of by combining these two right here, because this one gives 100% more passive regeneration and this one gives 200% more passive regeneration. So if you are struggling with keeping your life points up, using these two in combination will help you a lot. Okay, let's take a look at the enemies of the Underworld now. As you can see, like Expedition, it has 4 locations, and in each location you have 3 normal enemies and a boss. Like Expeditions, you have Underworld points, and you have 18 of them. These will not regenerate over time. You only have 18. The only way you can get this back is through mobilizations that are usually used on expeditions. There is a pack that works on these. This one right here, but not the important part. The maximum expedition points increased by 50%. That does not work on it. The only aspect of this pack that does work is 10% chance of not using any expedition points. Now, I don't think this is worth it, in my opinion. I would much rather not use this and use this one once I have defeated the normal Underworld, as it boosts my goal gain a lot. Let's go back. The first enemy is your clone. Now, this is true only for the first location. The next locations will have three other enemies. But on the first location of each Underworld, the first enemy is your clone. This is believe it or not, the hardest fight in the Underworld because it is completely random. You have a 50-50% chance on defeating this because it copies all of your skills, all of your boosts, anything you have put on yourself, it copies. And so if you are really unlucky, you can lose up to 5 times. But that's never happened to me yet. I usually defeat him in 3 attacks without problems. Now, one thing you can do is maybe put on a weaker weapon to get so you don't take as much damage on your life points. I don't personally use this because I have a ton of life potions in my inventory. I have 126, so I don't really need to use that strategy. But if you are struggling with this and you don't want to waste your life points, that is a valid strategy I've heard a lot of players use. Okay, let's go back to the Underworld. Okay, let's look at the enemies a little closer now. As you can see, you have these bonuses that usually have on expeditions as well, and you have this slider right here. Now, what this slider does, it increases your Underworld points used and increases your wait time for the next attack. It also increases your bonus goal. I advise you to never use this because it is not worth it. It is much more worth to just attack twice than to use this slider, because the only thing you get is gold basically, and you will be getting a ton of gold while using the Underworld costume, so this is completely unnecessary and it won't give you a lot even if you use it at the max. You are better off using 2 more attacks in order to get maybe an Underworld item to smelt for a scroll or for Underworld resources. So let's start attacking. I'm gonna attack my first target, and I lost. Attacking again. Fingers crossed. Ah, lost again. Let's go. Third time's the charm. Hey, we won. While in the Underworld, you will see this cooldown right here. What this cooldown shows is time you have to complete the Underworld, which is 2 days upon entrance. After 2 days have passed, if you haven't completed the Underworld, you will be kicked out, and you will have to wait another 5 days in order to enter again. If you want to exit the Underworld for some reason, you will get this gold branch in your packages, and if you move it to your inventory and go to exit the Underworld, and if you move this gold branch to this picture, you will exit the Underworld, and you will have to wait 5 days in order to enter it again. You have this box right here. I don't know why you would do this. I've never done it myself. Maybe you have lost your life points or something. Even if you die in the Underworld, you can still use life potions. So I suggest saving these if you can, if you don't have a lot of them. So even if your health reaches 1, you die in the Underworld, you can use these life potions. These life potions, it will bring you back to full HP, and you can still continue attacking. Let's take a look at the Underworld costumes now. So there's a costume for each difficulty, and these costumes are timed. So once this costume is equipped, the timer will start, and you will be able to wear it for 2 days. After those 2 days expire, the costume will be removed. Now, these costumes can be worn in the Underworld, but be careful if you are doing that, because if you complete the Underworld while wearing one of these costumes, the next costume will be consumed and you won't get it. So for example, if I'm wearing the normal costume and I'm going into the Underworld, and I have 10 minutes left on my costume and I complete the Underworld, I will not be getting the next costume. This one will expire, and I will have to wait another 5 days in order to get it. So be careful when doing that. Now, if I were to rate these costumes, medium is the worst because its bonuses are on dungeons, and it's not worth it. It's not worth using it. Now, I know you see players using this costume. I'll explain why in a second. Now, the normal costume is second best because it gives 100% more gold on expeditions, which is really good if you combine it with the pack that with the pack that I mentioned earlier. It will greatly increase your gold accumulation. But this costume is mainly used for farming items because increases the chance of finding an item on expedition and dungeon by 100%. Now this is really good, and you will be getting a guaranteed item every attack. So be prepared to have 80 plus pages in your packages when using this, if you are using this costume correctly. A good strategy with these costumes as the last 2 days is to use beers. These ones right here, or Centurion X. These give Centurion for 24 hours, and if you use 2 of them, you will get Centurion for 2 days. So you won't waste any Centurion after this costume expires. Now let's take a look at the last costume. This costume is best for farming gold. It may not seem at first that way when you compare it to the normal costume, but this one is extremely good because it decreases your cooldown in Arena and Turma. This combined with Centurion is insanely good because you can attack very quickly in Arena and Turma. You will be running out of enemies to attack when using this costume. Now the rest of the bonuses may not seem that good, but if we go over to my main account and we go to Circus Turma, which is not that strong here, you can see I'm getting attacked by the mostly the same players, but and you can see they are taking a lot of gold. But if we click on details, they are not actually raiding this, it's just their costume giving it to them. Now they would get a lot more. For example, if they were to kill me in Circus Turma, I believe they will get 32,000 for killing me. It's a bit less in the arena, but still, there's a lot of weak players and players that stop playing, and you can just keep attacking and gaining a ton of gold. Now, when doing this, make sure to have a buddy to pack your gold, because you'll be running out of amulets in the auction house. Okay, I am at the last boss now, and let's finish this. And this is what happens when you complete the Underworld. Tells you it's completed, and it gives you the option to go to the costumes right away, or you can refuse. When you complete the Underworld, you don't have to equip the costume right away. You can keep it as long as you want. It doesn't have the cooldown. Once you equip it, then the cooldown for the 2 days start. Although once you complete the Underworld, the cooldown for the next entrance already starts. This is why you can go into the Underworld with the costume equipped. I can wait for these 5 days to expire and then equip this and go into the Underworld again and farm items, for example, because items dropped in the Underworld give special resources that usually don't drop in the normal play, together with Underworld scrolls and rare prefixes and suffixes. Now, one thing that is important to note is that the hardest difficulty does not drop any items. The only thing it gives is experience and gold. So taking this costume into the hardest is not a good idea, as you won't be getting anything even with the costume equipped. One more thing: if you die in the Underworld in the hardest difficulty, you will lose one random skill point. So try to watch your life points closely so they don't hit zero, because if they do, you will lose a life. You will lose one skill point. It can be any one of these, but if you win, you will also get. If you complete the hardest difficulty, you will also get one free skill point to use wherever you want. Also, there are. If we go to Hermit, I can. Okay, no, never mind. Let's look at it this way. The Underworld difficulties have their own levels. So the normal difficulty is your level minus 27 to 28 levels, and middle is your character level. So if you are level 104, it will be the monsters will be our level 104, and the hardest difficulty it's plus level 27 or level 28. Now this is good to know if you are farming specific scrolls. For example, if you go on the specific prefixes and suffixes, because if you go with this costume on the normal difficulty, for example, Sebastianus scroll or prefix, you won't be able to find. But if you go in the middle, Sebastianus items could drop. This is why you will see people sometimes go with this costume into the medium difficulty Underworld and try to complete it with this, because there is a chance that you might even get red items. So if you were to be extremely lucky, and Sebastianus red item drop, it would be extremely useful, because those resources are very rare and very hard to get. Now this will be it for this video. If I've forgotten anything, it will be in the pinned comment down below. Also check the video description, there's some useful stuff there. Lots of links and tools I'm using along with the Addon and where I get my information. All can be found in the description. So thank you for watching. Until next time, guys. Bye bye.